me, Mr. Stee. I'm back for some more French and I hope you've had a good Easter. I also hope that you can answer my question, which is, comment ça va? And I wonder what you're going to say. Are you going to say, ça va bien? Or are you going to say, comme ci, comme ça? Or are you going to say, ça va mal? Okay, obviously I've asked you, how are you? And we did that in lesson 2, so if you can't remember that one, go back, have a look at it. I think we did it in lesson 1 actually. Go back, have a look and see if you can remember and practice that one. Okay, today what we're going to do is we're going to look at answering this question, and the question is, où habites-tu? Now, what that means is, where do you live? And first of all, we're going to start talking about, if you wanted to say you live in a certain country, you would say, j'habite en, and then you would say a number of countries. So you might say, j'habite en Angleterre, which means I live in England. Or you could say, j'habite en Royaume-Uni, and that is the United Kingdom. You could also say, j'habite en France, which means I live in, yes, France. So we're going to be doing all the different places that you could live. We're looking at them in French and relating them to the English. Then we'll have a few games. We're also going to be looking at points of the compass and looking at some French towns as well.
Okay, so here we have a map of Europe and we're going to be learning the different names in French. So first of all, starting with Great Britain. Now that is Royaume-Uni. Royaume-Uni. Next we've got Ireland, which is very, very similar, and that is Ireland. Ireland. After that we've got France, which is France. France. After that we've got Italy, which is Italy. Very, very similar again. The change for the I and the E at the end instead of a Y. Now, the Netherlands, or Holland, is Pays-Bas, which means in French, the Low Countries. Portugal is exactly the same, but said in a sort of French way. Then we've got Spain, which is España. España. We've got Switzerland, which is Suisse. Suisse. And then Belgium, we have Belgique. Belgique. Then finally we've got Germany, which is Allemagne. Allemagne. And the Swiss flag, Suisse, is a red and white flag. The German flag is black, red and yellow. The Dutch flag, the Netherlands flag, Pays-Bas, is like a French one but on its side. Italy flag is green, white and red. The Belgian flag is red, yellow and black in the opposite order. Next we've got Portugal, which is green and red. One over there. Spain is the next flag, which is red and yellow. And France, obviously we know what colour their flag is. It's blue, white and red. Ireland is very, very similar to the Italian flag, but they have orange at one end and instead of red. And the last one we know is the United Kingdom, which is Royaume-Uni, and that's the Union Jack, of course. So let's just go through them again. We've got right down the bottom Portugal, and we've got España, France, Italy, Suisse, Allemagne, Belgique, Pays-Bas, Royaume-Uni, and Ireland. So, I'm just going to say a few countries, and what I'd like you to do when you're at home is just say the words out loud. So, what is the name for Great Britain in French? Yes, that's right. It's Royaume-Uni. How do the French say France? What is the French for Spain? That's right. It's Espagne. And the French say France. What is the French for Germany? That's right, Allemagne. What is the French for Italy? That's right, it's Italy. Well done.
Now we're going to move on. If you wanted to say that you lived in a particular town, then you would say j'habite à. Now I live in Whitley Bay, so I would say j'habite à Whitley Bay. It's the same in French as it is in English. If you lived in North Shields, you could say j'habite à North Shields. Some towns are different in French. For instance, if you lived in London, the French for London is Londres, but there aren't very many of them. And so basically, if you say the name of a place, it is going to be the same in English as it is in French. Now you may have noticed I'm wearing a different football shirt today, and this is the team called Saint-Étienne, who are from further south in France, and they're also a very popular team, and they were very, very successful quite a few years ago. They're still a good team, and they're in League One. They're also supported by my good friend, Mr. Livings, whose shirt this is. So thank you very much, Mr. Livings. And if you were a Saint-Étienne fan, you would say Allez les Verts, which means let's go the Greens. And we'll find out where Saint-Étienne is in a few minutes.
Having a little look around the towns in France. France is just like our country, and there are plenty of really big towns, but also lots of little smaller ones as well. Lens is in the north of the country, and when you get slightly further to the east, it's a lovely town called Metz. The capital city is coming up next, and that's Paris. Obviously you can see the Eiffel Tower there. We've got Nantes, which is on the west coast, and there's another beautiful city there. Bordeaux, which is again on the west coast, but it's a very, very pleasant place, very, very sunny. Saint-Étienne is where my friend Mr. Livings likes to see his football. And we're heading on to the south coast now. Nice is a very, very popular destination on the south coast, on the Mediterranean shores, not far from Marseille as well. So they are very, very great holiday destinations for French people.
Now, once we can say where we live in a country, where we live in a town, you might want to say where your town is in relation to the rest of the country. So then we need to use our compass points. So, if you wanted to say something was north, then you would say nord in French. If you wanted to say something was in the east, you would say l'est. If something was in the south, you would say le sud. If something was in the west, you would say l'ouest. Now the same thing happens in French as it does in English. You can combine north and east and to make northeast. And then you would have northeast would be nord-est, southeast would be sud-est, southwest would be sud-ouest, and northwest would be nord-west. So if you wanted to say I live in the northeast, you would say j'habite dans le nord-est. If you wanted to say I lived in the southeast, then you would say j'habite dans le nord. Okay, so we're in the garden. Lovely sunny day. We've got our fantastic points of the compass we're going to do in French. It's a bit like the numbers game that we played last time. So we've got all these different positions. We've got nord, nord-est, est, sud-est, sud, sud-ouest, west, northwest. Okay, so and we've also got up there, we've got Keith. Bonjour, Keith.
Bonjour, everyone. How we doing? All right?
That's Keith, the next door neighbour, fluent in French. Okay, so Holly's going to tell me, Holly's filming by the way, Holly's going to say a different position in the compass and I'm going to go to it. She's going to say it in French. Go.
Est. Sud. West. Sud-ouest. North. Sud. Nord-est. Sud-est. Sud. West. Northwest. Sud-est. Est. Nord-est.
Okay, so what you can do, you could have one of you, or you can make it into a competition, see who can get there first. You could do points in a number of how many points can you get to in 30 seconds, how many can you get to in a minute. Try and improve your score all the time. You're learning the points of the compass. Okay, going back inside. So if you wanted to say I live in the northeast, you would say j'habite dans le nord-est. If you wanted to say you lived in the southeast, you would say j'habite dans le sud-est. So keep practicing the different points of the compass. Try to say different people, your gran, your grandma, your dog. J'habite dans le. You could also go asking other people, where do they live, by using the phrase où habites-tu? And remember that they have to say j'habite à. If it's a town, or if you want to say, if they're saying a country, j'habite en. And enjoy doing that. And I will see you next week when we'll be doing another topic. Keep practicing. Au revoir. À bientôt.